All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, up on TSN 4, up on YouTube Live, on TSN's YouTube channel. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill. How are we doing this afternoon?
How's the tan look in real life? You like it?
Actually, it looks like blended in appropriately. Like the tan you're saying?
All it is, like I didn't spend 1 second at the pool. It's just golf, no hat.
I don't know about golf, no hat. Like, I'm not talking getting sun or what have you, but
you don't like the Ricky Faldo look?
I don't know, man. It's
Robert
like
Rock? Remember old Robbie Rock?
It was the go-to move back in the day.
On the Euro Tour.
Yeah, but guys would show up. Like, Nicholas never wore a hat. Jack never wore a hat.
Yeah, he did, dude.
No, he did not wear a hat.
There were times where he didn't, but Jack
Tom Watson, like, we're talking back in the day. Sevy never wore a hat. But now it's a sponsorship thing. Like, if you're a TaylorMade guy, you're wearing a TaylorMade hat. Understandable. Mandatory. But I don't remember the last time I played golf without a hat. I just feel like it would throw off my rhythm.
I like once a month, like no hat. It's a Robert Rock tribute.
Okay.
Find a picture, Doogie, of Robert Rock and throw it up there.
I'll check that out.
Dude, he's got a great salad. He was on the Euro Tour for a bunch of years. Stud. Bobby Rock.
Yeah, because if you, like, we're into Masters season. You see Tiger's making his return to TGL tonight. A lot of people anticipating that this is the beginning of his comeback tour towards Augusta.
Dude, stop with the comeback tour.
Well, he's going to play, I think. And I'm all for it. I want to see him play. I'm not expecting him to win. I don't know if he'll make the cut.
You know what? I'm for
chasing a cut would be cool.
I'm for him playing. It elevates the tournament, as everyone knows. But I think it's past the point of him dominating live at the Masters from start to finish, Tuesday to Friday. And I know you're going to say that's going to happen anyway.
Yes.
That's craziness, man. The guy hasn't played golf in 2 years. What swing samples is Brandel Chambly going to pull up?
But here's the thing about, like, Live From is a brilliant show.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
If you're a golfer, you're glued to it. I am too.
Amazing what they do.
But I'm not going to go through scenarios where does Tiger have a chance? Does it
Well, that's happening though. Like, it's going to happen. It's just it's built-in production. If you're a producer of a golf show and Tiger Woods is playing, you are allotting multiple segments every single show to Tiger.
I've told you 100 times the series of events of what happens. Like his press conference, Rich Lerner or somebody in the crowd is going to say,
think Todd
Lewis, think he could win, and he's going to say, I wouldn't show up here if I didn't think I had a chance.
Wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could.
Then he's going to get rinsed and miss the cut, and then he's going to say to Todd Lewis, well, Todd, I haven't played.
I understand that's going to happen. That's a Tiger conversation. This is a Golf Channel /TSN conversation. There he is down at TGL getting warmed up. Like, Duffy and the crew are going to be down there. They will be talking about him if he's playing. But, like, the Golf Channel, when he's not playing, he hasn't been there. He wasn't there last year. They bring him up every single show at every single major. Like, Brandel Chambly, nobody brings up an athlete more than Brandel Tiger.
Well, he's bringing his name up.
Talking about Scheffler and McIlroy, and when Tiger used to do this,
he brings up his name now because of what Scotty's doing, and that comparison is building.
I know.
So Tiger's name is popping up more.
When does that come to an end? Like, do we do that? And I guess we do it with Jordan. Maybe when we're talking about LeBron.
Dude, it's never going to come to an end because it's good for the Golf Channel and good for business just to even say the name Tiger.
For the rest of time. 30 years from now, you're still going to reference, hey, remember back in 2001? Like, at some point, there has to be an expiration date.
The only time there will be an expiration date if the next Tiger Woods comes by, which is...
I mean, who knows if that's ever possible. Obviously, you can't replicate it.
Scotty Scheffler is the closest thing golfing-wise, and he still doesn't generate... Like, as good as a player as he is, he's not generating. Like, look at this guy, Robbie Rock. What a stud.
Look at... That is a pretty good look. Blue on blue.
Oh, yeah. Blue on blue, white shoe with just a perfect salad.
Yeah. He's got the blade putter. Okay. I like that look. Well, I'm curious, like, if there's a modern athlete, non-golfer, that you think could get anything close to the Tiger treatment when he retires. In other words, LeBron. I think LeBron's got a shot. Like, let's say LeBron retires after next year. In 5, 6, 7 years, are they comparing Wemby in his prime to LeBron in his prime? Is Sid going to get that treatment? I think Ovi could with goal scoring, but it's more specific. Like Tiger, it's not You're looking at, well, this guy drives the ball like Tiger. He putts like Tiger. It's the whole encompassing Tiger Woods as a pace car, comparing him to any modern player. I don't know if LeBron would get that. I don't think Sid or Ovi would get it. Would
Dude, you know what
Shohei get it? I don't
society's
think
like
so.
right now, man. As like back in the day, if like Gretzky stepped away from the game or Jordan retired, people move on quick.
But that's
now,
what I'm
man.
saying. Like Gretzky retired in '99. I don't remember having the like Sports Center hits on comparing Sid to Gretzky in 06 or 07. You know what I'm saying? Like it would just you pass the baton and someone else moves on.
But you have to understand, the years of Sid and these modern day players is the years of social media and everything being looked at and stats and over analyzing. Gretzky was just the best and he piled up a bunch of points and it's almost like that's what it was.
Well, exactly, and no one could possibly catch him, but no one's
Not
going to
even
catch
possible.
Tiger either, I don't think. No one's going to ever catch Nicklaus, like unless they add the players as a fifth major, which will ultimately not be the equivalent because it's not the same in terms of their careers. Anyway, yeah, we'll see because Tiger, TGL tonight. I haven't really been watching. I'll check it out tonight. I will. I want to see him. He still moves the needle for me from that standpoint. Like I'm captivated to see what he's got, what his swing looks like. I couldn't care less if Jupiter beats LA or anything like that. I could not care less.
It just didn't catch on with me. I like as much as I love the sport. Like me and my buddy, when we go away, we watch the Golf Channel. It's on the TV the whole time. That's it. That's all we watch. But this indoor golf, we didn't tune in once. Like
it's very different.
It's a different ball game, man.
Totally different ball.
It's almost like if you were in Jupiter and it was going on, you'd be like, "Yeah, let's go check it out." But watching it, I can't do it.
Yeah, maybe live would be cool.
Yeah,
I know a couple guys that have seen it live. They said it like there's a great atmosphere in there. They got music pumping, selling drinks, you know. But we'll see. Tiger back tonight. Leafs in Boston tonight, and I can't imagine it's a coincidence, but this Fraser Minten trade is really starting to pick up a lot of steam when they're in Boston tonight. And I'm sure you saw CJ, Chris Johnston, wrote an article in The Athletic that was actually very, very detailed in terms of how the deal went down, how Mitten's playing, you know, how Marco Sturm feels about him, where this draft pick is likely to land. And listen, he's a really good young player. He's had a really good year. You know, he's not putting up massive numbers. I don't ever see him being a guy that puts up superstar numbers, but I think he's just going to be a really quality, smart, two-way center. And if they hand over the 6th or 7th pick in the draft, which the odds would indicate that's the most likely outcome, then it's a deal that obviously is just going to get worse and worse and worse.
dude, it's disastrous.
Yeah, it is.
There's no other.
No, there's no other way to
no
put
other
it.
way. Like the idea, and it's just like every element of the deal just continues to pile up on the other element. Where it's like, I don't think Brandon Carlo has not been impressive since he got here by any stretch.
This year has really been a struggle for him. I mean, everybody included, but I thought he was okay post-trade deadline. And I can I can go back in time and realize where they were going. It was desperate, clearly. Like CJ reporting that they picked up the phone to Boston at 2 p.m. last year. Like, that is effectively sending a "you up" text at 3 in the morning buckled. Like, that's basically what Brad Treliving did. You up? And I guess Don Sweeney was like, look at this cat. Like, he's got no other options. They think they can win a cup, which in retrospect was clearly delusional, but they think they can. I blame Shanahan. I think that needs to be brought up. Treliving's taking the bullets right now. Shanahan, I think, understood this is my last dance. If we don't win this year, I'm out. And he gave it the old, hey, if it doesn't work out, I'm not going to be here anyway treatment. Pretty clear in terms of the, I think, kind of pushing it over the finish line type of attitude among MLSC and in the Maple Leaf front office. But to call another team at 2 p.m. and say, can we make this work, is sending all the leverage to Boston.
But I say
and
this
they absolutely took advantage of it.
I say this to you often about contracts, whether it be the money or the term. Like if some guy signs a long-term deal, somewhat of an unknown for 5 years at $4 million, it's like, I ask myself all the time, would he have walked away for 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did it get to 5?
Or 3.5
So as far
million?
as Brandon Carlo goes, Wasn't a first-round pick enough?
Yeah.
Like, how did it get to a point where it's like, no, we want the first and Fraser Minton, and then on the other end, you're like, okay.
Well,
Like, the first should have been more than enough.
And the answer is clearly the Leafs were remarkably desperate, and they buckled, and they choked at the deadline. That's what happened, because he had term on his deal, so Boston obviously was comfortable with not trading him if need be. Would have kept him. He was a veteran guy. We'll trade you at the draft. Trade you next year at the trade deadline if need be. And again, this article, the timing is not great for tree living in the Leafs because we're all doing the draft simulator stuff. We all know where the Leafs are at. Like, it's an incredibly backwards mentality, and it's a sickening one if you're a Leaf fan, that they're playing the Bruins tonight and you're rooting for the Bruins to win. Like, that is a testament to rock bottom mentality for a fan base. Your number one rival who has absolutely ripped your heart out and stepped on it 5-6 times over the last 12, 13 years. More than that. But in the playoffs in particular, they're 5-0 against you in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's 15 times because there's other little altercations.
Oh, it's disgusting what they've done, what the Bruins have done to the Leafs. Because on top of it, yes, you got to go back to the Kessel deal and the Tuukka Rask deal. Like, 3 of the worst deals of the last 20 years, probably in the league, period, have been about the Leafs hooking up their biggest rival who own them in the playoffs. And now you're in a position where Boston needs 2 points tonight. You could be a spoiler, right? You could be thinking, hey, let's spoil the Bruins.
I don't think there's any element.
No one wants to be a spoiler.
No, they don't.
Leaf fans
If this was the other way around, the Boston would be like, we got to jam these guys up tonight because we hate them. They're our rival, and we're always going to play them like that, regardless of the circumstances. I don't think any kind of, there's no mentality like that in the Leafs locker room.
No, the Leafs don't have it, and furthermore, the fan base doesn't have it. The fans are sitting there saying, you just lose tonight in regulation.
I've heard a lot of just stop the madness. Like, loss of it. Like, can't watch it.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is difficult to watch, ultimately. And again, when you start looking at details of what's been going on, where last year they were, they were trying to get other guys, CJ reporting that they were in on Rasmus Andersson, and Calgary pulled the chute on that the day before the trade deadline. They were talking about Mikko Rantanen, which was complicated, and then Marner obviously turned them down in terms of the trade. And the league knew they were looking for a third-line center. That was Scott Laughton, and Philly said, all right, you're going to have to pay for that. That's another one, Scott Laughton. It had to be a first. Couldn't have been a second and a third, and then the year later you trade him for a third-round pick. And, again, in the moment, I understood it. I got it. They thought they could win. They were leading their division. There's retrospective analysis is very, very easy, and you have to be fair to where the mentality was at the moment. But it was the same thing with the Kadri deal. At the time it was, wow, you want a puck-moving defenseman, and you got Tavares here, and Nas obviously has been suspended the last 2 years, and they made a move that very quickly you realized was the wrong play.
Dude, I remember sitting on the panel with Bobby McKenzie, and he's like, that'll be the end of Kadri in Toronto. I'm almost certain of it. And I said, you'd be nuts to let that guy go just because of those incidents. Yes, they're concerning, and they got to be rectified, but he's the only guy that has any bite that would even have the possibility of being suspended. How do you take that out of that lineup that doesn't have any of it? He's like, that'll probably be the end, I'm almost certain. Sure enough, Kerfoot and Tyson Barrie, come on.
Well, same kind of thing. They tried to make a deal, I want to say it was with Calgary, and Nas had a no move, and he turned it down. Ironically, he ended up signing there a few years later. But then they just turned it over and said, all right, who else? We're desperate to move this guy. Colorado said, we'll take him. Happily. You take Tyson Barrie and Alex Kerfoot. And the same thing in Boston. Like, clearly last year, the Leafs, they had him hook, line, and sinker. This guy's calling me an hour before the deadline. Desperate. Needs someone. Wait till you see what we're going to get. Fraser Minton and a top 5 protected pick. And that's turning out to be a very advantageous deal for the Bruins. Needless to say, they're probably going to make the playoffs this year too. So it's an ultimate question. Like, if you could have a redo on either trade, which one would you choose?
Dude, it's all of it. It's all of it. Like,
I know, and it's unfortunate that we're in a position where we have to do that.
It's all of it. It's just the redo on all of it.
Well, Leafs in Boston tonight. Ottawa, Detroit, huge game, and they are suffering more injuries. Shabbat is hurt, and likely out for, I think Green said after the game, like he's going to be out a while. So Sanderson's out, and you've now got Shabbat out, like your two left shooting, puck moving, skating defensemen who are both out. They played so well last night. They kept New York, it turns out, to 10 shots. The NHL, I guess, went back and adjusted the shot clock because it was 9 by the end of the game. They gave the Rangers an extra shot for some reason.
That looked like some kind of broken arm or something.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, and it makes you wonder, is he going to play again like in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I don't know. But if you're Ottawa, like you're on such a heater, you feel so good about yourself right now, but how do you survive this without Shabbat and Sanderson?
I don't know. They seem like they are some kind of team of destiny that crawls in, them in Columbus, like just crawling in at the last minute.
Tonight is, if you're Detroit, though, like you're at home, you're waiting for them. You have been starting to leak oil.
Dude, I was shocked. I went into vacay mode, and when I got back this morning at 5 a.m., I went through NHL standings. Detroit was out.
Yes, they are leaking oil.
You promised me they're not doing it again this year, and they're doing it again.
I said there'd be a team that buckles.
In January, you're like, Detroit's finally gotten over the hurdle, and they're not going to pull that monkey business that they've done in the past, and they're pulling it.
They are. They're pulling it. And
dude, they've been in cruise control since the start of the season.
Oh, they had a 10-point buffer at the Olympic break or close
Damn right.
It. And this is it. Like if you can't win this game now, Ottawa's going to play them tough. Like Travis Green, who's got that team playing.
Ottawa's going to try to win 1-0.
Precisely that. And I wouldn't put it past them to do it. But they're back-to-back. They're down. I think Jensen's out too. Like they're down multiple defensemen, including their two best defensemen, arguably. Certainly Sanderson. I would say Shabbat is right there too. If you can't take advantage of Detroit and win this game, you don't deserve to make the playoffs. Like you've got to win this game tonight. But it's a race, man. Like Montreal, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Boston, the Islanders, Detroit, Ottawa. It's a race to the finish line. And it's going to be a really fun, like 10 to 12 game run.
Dude, it'll be full-blown panic if Detroit blows that game.
If Ottawa wins tonight in reg, they will be losing their minds in Detroit.
Full panic.
Absolutely. This will be 3 years in a row they've choked. Like 3 years in a row. They have had a playoff spot well into February, if not into March, and it's completely fallen off for them. All right, Ray Ferraro coming up today. We got Mike Johnson joining us. Johnny down in Boston calling the game tonight, the game on TSN4. We got Confirm or Deny coming up. Tigers back in action. Got opening week for the Blue Jays and Major League Baseball. We'll get into some of the news and notes on the Jays a little bit later this afternoon as well. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
Back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
I had to have my first closed-door meeting, NHL style, with my daughters, about keeping things in-house, keeping it tight. Some things were leaking out that weren't supposed to. Just with some people down in Tampa, and some stories started being told about, oh, my dad, and my middle daughter said, well, we were at a really nice restaurant last week, and my dad scratched his back with his fork and then ate his salad. Which, I'll come clean.
Accurate.
I did do that.
I've seen that move. I've seen that play.
Not by me.
Okay.
But I have a back scratcher at home, so it's like a natural.
What is with you and Noodles?
I don't know, dude. The top, just
the
below my
driest skin on earth. The two of you, like Noodles, will sit there the whole show.
Dude, doing it on
back.
live television is redonk.
Completely unnecessary.
Yeah, like he has that old Geppetto wood thing. Too.
Yeah, like Noodles' whole thing. He takes a sip of a drink every 2.5 minutes, and he scratches his back every 10. It's the weirdest setup ever. I can't get enough of it. I'm like basically mesmerized by the way he's acting at home.
So anyway,
continue with the
this is at Villa Allegro. This is like fine dining.
Nice spot.
Yeah. Laura Dykin's husband works there. It's a gorgeous place.
Shout out.
And
this is in Toronto then, not in Tampa. Okay.
And I grabbed my fork and I just kind of gave a scratch, and then I gave it like a 7-iron dust off the turf. And then I had my house salad. But I'm like, that has got to be kept tight in-house.
So who was she telling that to?
Just people we're having dinner with. Like it was.
Oh, so it was like kind of ice-breaking conversation.
It was just like, oh, this happened. And then she
you're not
just
gonna
blurted
believe
out,
it.
my dad scratched his back with his fork and then ate his salad.
See that? You expect,
I'm like, come on.
Your daughters are too old to be doing that. Like you expect that when they're younger. Remember when they were 5 or 6 and they blurt something out? You'd be like, hey, you don't need to say that.
But, dude,
but they didn't know any better.
It's true. I did scratch my back and then eat my salad with the same fork. But that is a closed-door meeting that's got to be kept in-house.
Yeah, that could not get out to the media. That can't be in front of a mic.
Yeah, an hour delay talking to the media. It never gets out.
That's a players-only meeting. Like, that's an O'Neill family meeting.
Yeah.
Immediately. None of that kind of stuff has to get out.
Yeah.
Because no one, I don't know who you were out to dinner with.
Well, people are looking at you like you're a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. It's an impossible play to recover from.
Well,
you've been labeled.
What's uncomfortable is when someone says, you actually did that? And I'm like, I did it.
Yeah. Well, you could have lied, I guess, and said you didn't do it.
Dude, who cares, man? It's my skin cells on the fork. What the hell?
So you went under the shirt? Why do you have to go under the shirt?
It was itchy, and I had just a bulldozer dig.
See, that is... Yeah, I guess so. I mean, there's been nastier stuff out there. Like, remember, Charles Barkley said he washes his phone by licking the surface of it. That's gross.
That's offside.
That's disgusting stuff. But I think a fork can get the job done over a shirt, unless you're wearing a parka or something.
I'm telling you, those scrubbers the tour players have on their range?
Totally.
That's all I did with
those.
The napkin.
Are great. Those are great. Yeah, I know those. There's a Canadian company. I'm blanking on it. It's a great Canadian company that makes them.
It's called Frogger or something.
Yeah, we'll look it up. I've got a couple at home. They're a great product. It feels a little bit unnecessary, like as like a 10 handicap to be wiping off your wedges. But anyway, is Ray there? I could see Ray doing that. I'll bet you Ray's got some wild stuff on his golf bag. Here he is from ESPN, our good friend Ray Ferraro. What's that?
Jesus. You said the word, but I was going to ask you, are you a frickin' Neanderthal? Like, honestly. Are you wearing a
Razor?
Are you wearing a loincloth at home? Like, what are you doing?
Fred Flintstone.
Razor, let me ask you, have you never had an itch at the top of your shoulder blades where you just had to get it, and your fork is your only way out of it?
Yes. Over the shirt, though, always.
Yes.
Never to that. Like,
mandatory over the shirt.
Oh, like
under the shirt is wild, dude.
Under the shirt is a veteran move. I think under the shirt is 800 games played in the National League.
That's a what? And the fact is, you said it's your skin cells, whatever, but you're at the table. The girls are at the table too. As they're eating, they're like,
Yeah.
oh God, look at him.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Yeah.
That
is
my
the disappointing thing, because I'm supposed to be a role model, and I looked at my daughter's faces
Too late.
afterwards, and
Yeah.
they were perplexed.
Grossed out.
Yeah.
That picture
By
of
the
Ray,
way,
like when we
the,
brought you up, Ray, your face was so disgusted. That was
I was
such a great
stunned.
shot.
I'm like, what am I? I gotta say though, every time I come on, it's like there's always something
Yeah.
that that's just not right. And this was
Yeah.
today's. The thing about the golf bag, like I don't have one of those iron scrapers. Don't you just spit on your club and wipe the grass off?
Very, very valid.
That's what
Get
I
a
do.
towel going, something like that. I know it's a
Yeah,
little
wet
like
the
it's a
towel,
cool
like-
move, but just too much.
No, you know who's got that scraper guaranteed? Duffy.
Duffy shooting 92
Guaranteed.
and
He's-
scraping his irons
Guys,
off.
that guy's a
and
psycho.
he's
I don't
got
know if you know that.
uh,
I sat behind him, like watching a game once in the green room, and he was watching a videotape of his own swing, and he was rewinding it in slow motion. I'm telling you, he did it 100 times.
Yeah, he's working on his
You'd
game.
think he'd be better, eh?
A lot.
Those are the best memes online. When it's like the Joker meme, the guy crying. It's like, you play a lot. You should be a lot better at golf. It's like, you wouldn't understand. You just wouldn't understand. Anyway, good to see you, Ray. And, we were obviously Leafs are they're in a very interesting position right now because they're basically playing it out, and this top 5 protected pick is hanging over them. Can you be a beacon of positivity for us? We're having a tough time, and we take heat in this city all the time. People that are eternal optimists, like, why don't you spin something positive? Very difficult to do. Is there any way you can spin the future positively? Like, can you give me something here that Leaf fans can attach themselves to that will make them feel better about their favorite team?
Try me. Spin a positive, Ray.
I live in Vancouver, right?
Yes. Perfect.
So, what is positive, honestly, in Toronto? Because I don't see, you're playing a bunch of young guys, or, I can see these 3 really good draft picks you have or coming up in the next draft. Like, they don't have any of that. It's not like, I think Florida will rebound next year and have a very good year because it will be impossible to be this injured again. What's Toronto going to be? Like, why would you think there's, a quick turnaround or something really positive around the corner? I don't see it. I will say, you must have played on teams that get to this point of the year and your spirit is broken, right? You're done. You go into the game and you're like, you're going to play, you're ready to play. And something goes wrong in the first period. And you can just feel it's like the air is gone off the bench. It's like did you guys watch any of the Rangers last night?
Oh, man. They're in town tomorrow night, Ray.
Like this, I guess somebody's got to win, but but they have a 1,000-game ceremony for Zibanejad, and then they get 9 shots.
Total, dude.
Like there's nothing there, nothing, and that's what I see in Toronto. You're trying, but you're not invested, and nobody cares. I would think on the roster, like nobody's going, I hope we can keep our picks so we can draft, and like it doesn't. You don't think like that. You just, at this point, what those guys should be doing is thinking of self-survival. Like you get on a team like this, they're not returning the same team. You better make sure you've got a job. Like that's what this part of the year is about.
Well, and there's a bunch of guys, guaranteed contracts and no movement clauses, and that's going to get complicated in the offseason because I'm with you. I think everyone expects that they're going to turn over the roster.
How much, though, Brian, is realistic? Like,
it's a good question. Like, how much does the rest of the league look at this and say, I'm dying to have all these guys?
Oh, well, that's very true. I mean, it's not like teams are looking around the league and saying, you know who we need? More of those guys that haven't competed or played very well. whether it's
No
in
kidding.
Toronto or Vancouver or any of those other teams that are scraping along the bottom. Nobody's lining up and saying those are the guys we need. Like that, it just the, you can hurt your perception around the league a great deal by playing with no investment in the game. And it's hard to do, man. It's like all this stuff about, oh, you make lots of money, you should be able to do it. When your spirit is broken, and I believe it is. I mean, that's what I see
Yep.
from these teams now, is like one little bump on the road and they're done for the night. And then another game gets pissed away and you're like, oh, now we got 11 left. And you're just looking at April 18th and that becomes it.
Well, it's interesting, the mentality of a room, and I'm curious how it applies to Ottawa tonight, where they're coming off a really good win. Travis Green's really got that team playing, man. They defend really well. They're getting goaltending. They're right there on the precipice of getting into a playoff spot. They're going into Detroit tonight, but Shabbat is now out. Sanderson's out. Jensen's out. Like, which mentality wins out in your opinion? The confidence of how they're playing versus the, how are we going to survive because guys just keep going down on us, especially these important players?
Well, I think the confidence probably carries you a long way. And you don't, this will be kind of strange, you don't really think about the guys that aren't there. You might after the game, or you might if the game goes south on you. But the two new guys that are coming in and they're playing their NHL debut, I think anybody looks at them and you're like, yeah, they're on our team. Like in that moment, you just think they're on our team. This is going to be an incredibly difficult game today. Detroit's probably getting Larkin back. I did the game there on Saturday, and you can feel the tension in the building in Detroit. Like they were 10 points inside the playoffs, and now they've kind of, they've crept their way back, and now they're out of the playoffs. So I think Ottawa will go in there and play really well. How could they possibly have enough gas? They're going to play 4D most of the time, and most of those guys played 25 minutes last night.
Razor, what do you make of the McDavid comments about the team, the complimenting the coach and the Lightning? It was kind of a weird vibe. I know he backtracked it the other day, but just Edmonton's kind of a mess too. Like, they got serious problems out there.
I don't know about you, but I got a pretty good laugh when he called it a pillow fight, because honestly, I laughed. I was like, oh, that's great, because it is. It like the Pacific Division is like 3 teams are going to get in the playoffs because the rules say 3 teams have to get in. Like, as bad as Edmonton is, like, they could still win the division somehow because it's been a lousy division. They're as I look at it, I don't think this team in 2026 is as good as the last 2 teams. I've kind of felt that most of the year. I don't think they're as good a team. And here they are 3 years later, and goal is still a constant question mark. Tristan Jarry is going to play tonight in Utah. As for McDavid's comments, you always get the frustrated guy right after the game, and clearly he was frustrated. I think John Cooper's the best coach in the league. I don't know how he hasn't won a Coach of the Year ever. I mean, that's somehow was kind of absurd. But I think it was pretty clear, like, everywhere we went, those guys were in the right spot. Everywhere the game was played, they were a little better than us. And so whether the perception is, oh, our coaching's not right or not, the Oilers brought in Paul Coffey at the Olympic break. Draisaitl's mentioned this before, and now Connor mentions it the other day. And there's just a swirl of uneasiness all the way around the team. And the fact of the matter is, they've won 3 games in a row 1 time this year. Like, doesn't that strike you as like incredible? Like, how could they not have won 5 games in a row once? or, these teams that go on a 3-game winning streak, a loss, they win 4 out of 5. They haven't done that either. It's really been a unsettling year for them, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the goalie situation is bizarro world. And
well, it's Connor Ingram's the guy, right? Like Jari's going to have to play some games. Like you said, he's going tonight, but like that to establish a number one and it's Connor Ingram, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Buffalo has used 3 guys this year. Luukkonen, Ellis, and Lyon. But that's kind of been by choice and by injury. And, Edmonton is like, okay, you're the guy. No, you're not the guy. Right? They started, like a couple of years ago, Colorado went from Georgiev and Onanen were their 2 goalies. And then in 10 days, they got Wedgwood and Blackwood, like a clear upgrade. And the Oilers went from Skinner and Pickard to Jari and Ingram, and that's not an upgrade. It's like it's different. It's just it's not better. It's just
a lateral
different.
move. It's a lateral move
For sure. And it cost them a couple of draft picks on the way.
Yeah, and they're going to need them more than ever. That's the amazing thing. Like they went to a cup final the last 2 years where the goaltending was good enough, and at times great. It has to be to get to a cup final. But this year, with the issues they have, I'm not convinced Draisaitl will be healthy come game 1. Like they're going to need a goalie to get on a heater, and maybe you can get out of the Pacific with average goaltending, but if you want to go to a cup final, there's no chance you can do it with that team the way they're playing with average goaltending. I don't see it happening, and it's interesting. Like with Kucherov rolling through town, and we talk obviously a lot. It's a moving target. Best player in the world, and I think McDavid is still worthy of that title, but at times earlier this year it was like maybe McKinnon's taken that. And then McDavid went on that crazy 25, 30-game run where he was just spectacular. And now it's Kucherov. Like, you look over the last 40 or 50 games, the guy's putting up numbers that are unparalleled. He's got I think he's got 15, 20 more points than anybody else in the league the last 50 games. And I think it was you that said it, yesterday. He's the complete opposite of McKinnon and McDavid the way he plays. Like he slows everything down. He's so cerebral. Like I'm sure you've seen him up close and personal many times, Ray. It must just be unbelievable to be ice level with that guy.
We have done a lot of Tampa games. Of course, been really great team for ESPN's had the hockey rights 5 years, and a lot of it's gone through Tampa. I think he's an artist the way he plays.
Ray, do you not think he reminds you a little bit? Like I watched him from the stands live once, and there was a bunch of plays on the power play that the only player that reminded me of was Gretzky on the power play. How he was like one pass ahead and like just finding the open man off the rush. He'll just dump it somewhere and someone met. He reminded me of Gretzky. Obviously, he looks and plays a lot different, but his passing and playmaking ability, it reminds me of 99. Like he's just that good.
Like Gretz's computer was crazy, right? Like he'd go down and he'd pass it to nobody, and here was Curry, and he had a chance. Kucherov does that all the time. His puck skill, he's strong on the puck. He's super competitive. Like he is really competitive. He just doesn't play the same way. So at times it doesn't look the same. One of the things he does, it's honestly, it's one of my favorite things because nobody else in the league does it. When the puck's on the far side of the ice and he's changing, and the coaches always tell you, like, get back to the bench fast so the next guy can go on. Kucherov pulls the chute. He's had it for the shift. He's coasting to the bench. He's got his stick over his shoulder like a sword, and he just coasts into the bench. It cracks me up every time I see it. I think the guy is a magician. I love watching him play. The other thing is, so his whole career, he's had Cooper only as his coach. And so Cooper's had to figure all these guys out and kind of recreate his message all the time because they've been together so long. I was doing a game there, and there were times, like anybody else, he's had a brutal night. And I noticed he's not playing. It's near the end of the second period. So I look down the bench, and Kucherov's got his gloves on the bench. They're not on his hands. They're on the dasher board. and his stick is leaned up against the board and he's got his arms crossed. It's like he's watching a movie. It's clear he's not playing the rest of the period. He's not looking at Cooper. Cooper's not looking at him. And so we had the Tampa 2 days later, and I asked Coop about it. And he said, oh, yeah, there gets to be a point where he's had enough of me and I've had enough of him. And we just let it breathe. And then, like, he's like an artist. He's just different than everybody else. I think he's the MVP this year. If I had a vote, I would vote for him.
Razor, speaking of major awards, like if the Jackets get in, like, is it crazy for Rick Bowness to be nominated for a Coach of the Year? Like, is that even possible?
I think votes anyway.
Like Werenski too, like not just for Norris, but like MVP. Craig mentioned MVP, and I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, maybe that guy does deserve all that love. Like, though, if Columbus gets in, that's an incredible turnaround under Bones. They might sign that guy to a 5-year extension.
That's
he
it.
deserves it.
Every time he retires,
I'm serious.
Like, I'm
Give Ricky Bowness 5 years at $5 million.
So if I were to pick right now, the Coaches of the Year candidates are, of course, Lindy Ruff. Like the Sabres are in first place.
Yeah.
John Cooper, Rick Bowness.
What about
Like
Jared Bednar,
I think
though?
those. Well, okay, so you can put him in there too. I vote him fourth because he's got more players and has been healthier. Like I guess but my point is, like, Rick has to be in that conversation if they get into the playoffs. How about, would Kevin Adams get some votes for General Manager of the Year?
That's what's crazy. Is he might get,
like, it's his
Why
team.
wouldn't he be? It's his team. He put the team together.
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to get, like, because I've heard, other athletes, like former players say this, like, oh, Jarmo, he's an intense guy and he made it his team. And I'm like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Like, how does a
go
GM
into the dressing room every day? No.
Yeah, I'm genuinely curious. Like, a coach, I understand it because you're on the front lines with the players. The GM is not. How does a GM, like, how did Jarmo change everything compared to what Kevin Adams was doing? I don't know.
Well, they won 3 in a row before Adams got fired, right? Like, they were already, it was. And we all understood when they made the change. You're like, oh, it's been 14 years and all that, but nothing. They hired Mark Bergeron in the front office. Like they hired some people. Like, that's what Yarmo's done. Then at the deadline, he added Sam Carrick, who does a nice job on the fourth line for them, but. This is Kevin Adams' team. Like, it's wild to think about. And, man, can you imagine that first playoff game in 15 years in Buffalo? That place is going to be jumping.
Insane in Buffalo. It'll be absolutely crazy. And they're going to have home ice. Tampa still has a chance. Tampa's 4 points back with 2 games in hand, but it's likely they have home ice. And
we're going to the first playoff game on the concourse, Razor. OverDrive is going to be at the Sabre.
Yeah, we have no rights. We have no we have no relationship with the team, but we've decided we're going.
Right.
So I don't see why they wouldn't accept that.
Marty could talk you in there.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Marty
we're
could talk you in there. By the time Marty finishes and he throws a few this or that's around, you're going to be in there.
Or the other thing.
Yeah, he has a third option. It's called the other thing. So it's this or that or the other thing.
Yes. 3 options.
Do you know what I'd like to?
It's a great game. People have been asking for the game to come back.
They are. There's a lot.
I would like to offer up one thing for 2 guys that have lived in the United States for 35 years each, and that's have an argument with Marty. Like, bring up some topic and get Marty to debate Luc Robitaille.
Yes.
Because they both sound the same. And they've both been in the States for 35 years.
I know.
Like they both, it's like they're in Quebec City still.
I know. Marty looks like he got dragged out of a fishing hut, and he sounds like he got kicked out of a fishing hut in Quebec.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
They sound more French than anyone else in Quebec.
Yeah.
And they've been in the States their whole lives. It's amazing. Anyway. All right, Ray. Well,
I think you can prop that up. Well,
I think you're right.
You know what?
I think you're right.
It's almost dinner for you guys. So
yes.
If you're in the cafeteria, maybe a plastic fork and take a new one out of the case. Like,
how does that work for you? You like that idea?
Dude, it's just a little 7-iron scrub, and away we go.
All right, Ray. We'll leave it there. We'll keep you updated.
You are the best, man.
Thanks,
Please
buddy.
let me know. Let me know.
We will.
Great to talk
We
to you
will.
guys. See ya.
There he is, Ray Ferraro of ESPN. Ray's face when Joe from the Bridge brought him up, that is the
I
most...
think he wanted to say, I don't want to do this.
Like, actually disgusted. But you know
Joe,
what?
Joe, grab that for us when we come back, and we'll just have a peek of how grossed out he
A
was.
snapshot of when you first brought up Ray.
Yeah.
Because his
Just
face
play about
perplexed.
5 seconds, and then show him come up.
Okay. Full breakdown when we come back of Ray's introduction, how he looked, how he felt about the preceding conversation. Johnny coming up in about 15. Confirm or deny in about 45. Overdrive continues up on TSN 4. All right, Mike Johnson in about 15 minutes in Boston. Leafs Bruins tonight. Raptors with a win last night in Utah. And they're in L.A. playing the Clippers tomorrow night. So we just had Ray on. And Ray Ferraro, of course, has been on the show more than anyone else in the history of the show. We used to have him on every single day.
Every day.
Every day.
For 5 years.
Yeah, for at least 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, because he's been at ESPN now for 5. So, yeah, it's for 5 years. And then prior to that, he was on with me every day for 5 years. So Ray is well aware of the way things work on this show. And just prior to him coming on, you were telling a story about using a fork at a restaurant in public with people around.
And then using it for my salad.
And then going right into using it for the salad. And this was the introduction. Now, there's no audio to this. Look at the face on Ray. Look.
That's a man who I think he wanted to say, I'm not doing the hit.
Yeah. Like that, like when you're doing one of the chin grab, like the finger on the chin, that is philosophical.
No, you're thinking one thing. How could I be associated with these people?
Right. Look at that face.
Yeah.
That face. Blast that face out. That is a guy who is contemplating why he accepted this invitation. And can he get out of it?
Yes.
You know, and then he realized, I'm up on screen.
Now I'm stuck.
Now
with
I'm
these
stuck
guys.
with this, and I have to continue to talk to these guys. That's a meme right there. Ray just created a meme.
Yeah.
You know, and the two of us are just trying to do our job here, and Ray is
like when anyone in the NHL does something stupid, just post that pic of Ray.
Yeah. Like Doogie, full carte blanche, post it.
Yeah, if live during the show, if we say something stupid, Joe from the Bridge, post the pic.
Post it. Yeah, and maybe with the quote of something we said or whatever, and it's just Ray basically judging us.
Yeah. By the way, Joe from the Bridge, you could post that pic of Ray every time you start talking about the Leafs or hockey.
Joe is still an optimistic Leaf fan.
Man, he has some crazy.
Yeah, he's got it all figured out.
I think we
New
give
coach,
him another
new GM.
week,
Yeah,
and then we bring him back in for thoughts and ideas with Joe from the Bridge.
just to see where he thinks he can take the team.
Yeah. Like, where are they going? Like, what's next for him?
Okay.
His belief, all of it.
Yeah. Listen, this is tough, man. I hope they turn it around quickly. Like this, I don't want to go through this for the next 3, 4, 5 years. I've done this before. We've done it before. Like those first 5 years I referenced with Ray, they never made the playoffs. So I've been through this dance many times before. I would love to see them turn it around.
I know, but you have to make an assessment and look at it and
I
say,
understand. What are you doing? Are you just buying time to tank anyway in 2 or 3 years?
Is this roster the way they're constructed? Are they going to be all of a sudden contenders next year?
Are you a middle of the pack
You know how
team?
much ground needs to be made up for that even to
Yes.
be talked about?
Yes, very significant. And everyone keeps using the Blue Jay analogy. That's a once in a lifetime. 74 wins to 94 wins in a World Series. All right, hour 2 coming up. Mike Johnson confirm or deny. OverDrive continues up on YouTube Live.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Confirm or deny later in the hour. You got Leafs Bruins tonight. We got a bunch of games on TSN, a bunch of games in the NHL. Tiger Woods making his return to TGL tonight. You got an opening day in baseball coming up. You got the Jays back home. Crazy turnaround. And they're still making a couple of decisions on like the final roster spots, like who could be the, final bench piece, final bullpen arm. But
you see that cool situation with the Texas Rangers yesterday?
No.
The skip went out to the mound in the middle of the game. Joe, I don't know if you have this, to talk to the pitcher, and he just didn't have anything to say. He told him he made the team.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, it was sick. It was just one of those things that was really cool. Like just a mound visit, and the guy was like, I'm wondering what he's going to tell me. And he just said, I just want to tell you made the big league team.
Wow. That's really, sick, really cool. That is so cool. Like, it's still one of the most pure elements of pro sports that, yes, these are grown adults, but the guys on the edge, they're living on the edge, man. Yeah. Like, there's no guarantee they make it. Life in the majors compared to the minors is so drastic.
Well, we see the stories basically unfold right in front of us because it's so well documented. Sidney Crosby, Jonathan Toews, all the superstars, Connor McDavid, Ovechkin, Draisaitl, Matthews, the guys that are like living on the edge, they're not exactly living the glorious lifestyle that those guys are.
No, not even close.
Not even close, man.
Yeah. The average lifespan of an athlete is what is it, a year, 2 years?
There's the mound visit, and he just told him he made the team.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, that's really cool stuff. Because, especially if it's a younger guy that is going to have a great career, that's one thing. If he's the number one prospect, okay, cool. Maybe you're going to go to the minors, but you're coming up. Eventually you're going to get a chance. The cool stuff is when it's like a guy that's 25, 26, never made it, and he not sure if he's going to make the team. Like I know John Schneider said it about, they're bringing up some extra guys to Toronto. And he said there's going to be a lot of sleepless nights from the final 3 or 4 guys.
I bet you it would be more likely, like if you were to bump into an NHL hockey player or former, it would probably be more probable to meet a guy that said he had a cup of coffee in the NHL as opposed to a guy that played for 10 or 12 years.
Oh, no question. There's way more players in NHL history that have played one game compared to guys who have played
400.
Yes, probably. Or
maybe
at least
even
800. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to look up. I'd be curious what that number would be. But there are dozens and dozens and dozens of players who have played one game. Yeah. I know a couple of guys that I grew up playing with, or guys who are now kind of in my world, they have, that live around me, or their kids play hockey or whatever. It's they made it and they played one game.
I think Kenny Reed wrote a book about guys that played one game.
He might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have. And yet they get their card, right? You're a part of the alumni, technically.
You got to say you played in the big leagues.
You played in the big leagues. But there are dozens of those guys. Even if it's 3, 4, 5 games, that's pretty much the average experience. Yeah. Certainly way more consistent than a McDavid experience, obviously, or a Matthews, or a superstar who's going to play 15-plus years and make a ton of money. But that's a cool story. I hadn't seen that in Texas, but I like that. Major League Baseball is back. Blue Jays back in town later this week. I'll say this, too, quickly before we bring in Johnny. 50th year. They've got all the new clothing line coming out, commemorating the 50 years of, I guess, existence for the Blue Jays.
Oh, and I know
really
what you're going to do.
Stuff.
You're going to make me ask Schneider.
No. We're not asking for anything. I'm just pointing it out. I think they've done a very good job. It looks like really cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it looks cool. Not asking for anything.
All I want
I'm
is
going to maybe purchase.
All I want is
stuff.
the sleeveless Nike hoodie.
No, but that's not a 50. That's
Dude,
not a 50-year anniversary thing.
Jays, can I have one?
That's not a 50-year anniversary thing.
The
they got the cool
said
jacket
they were
out.
sold out, and he has probably 6 of them.
Grappler's got a few of them out in Hamilton right now. He's probably wearing it right now. All right, here's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. What's up, Johnny?
What's up? I think you can get that hoodie. I think it's bluejays.com. So I don't know. I'm not sure this is the secret. I'm pretty sure it is
Johnny,
available to
you don't think
not familiar with that website?
Johnny, you don't think I looked for the sleeveless hoodie? Like they don't sell them. They're in the clubhouse. I need connections.
It's exclusively for the team. Well, that's probably why they don't want to give one to you. They don't need you walking around town.
You know what the grappler said? He said the Jays said they don't have them anymore. They have 180
those
people
are
in spring
exclusively
training.
for players, though. It's
not,
players
dude.
and staff. They don't
Dude,
want you
I'll text
walking
Ross
around
Atkins
with that.
myself, and I don't care.
Ross is a busy guy. He doesn't need you bothering him over a sleeveless hoodie from Dunedin. Dunedin's a thing of the past, man. They're back home.
Dude, the one thing that me and Ross share that you and him don't, we have a pro athlete fraternity. Like
he didn't play pro.
He's in the pros. It's
okay.
pro on pro.
Okay.
I think the play is you call Sansi, then you ask him
Dude, don't even
to make
start
a
with
bet
that guy.
in to get
Yes.
the Blue Jay gear for you, given that he's down in Florida all the time. I think that's the next best play.
Great idea.
Dude,
Sansi
that's
sent us
it.
a text last night.
We lost a good man on the show. I'll tell you that.
I watched. I know.
Yeah. So disappointing.
Yeah.
Because we love Steve Sands. Like, he's legitimately one of our favorite people.
I thought we were boys, but
yeah,
I guess he's
you're not.
claiming to other people that he's only like put eyes on me in person like twice. He's like,
We've
How
seen him
mu-
at the Canadian Open multiple times.
No
I mean,
kidding.
you've lost a lot of weight. It actually probably a compliment. Probably the last time he saw you, you were 60-plus pounds. Legit, though, right? Like 2 years ago, how much more weight did you have on?
dude.
A little bit.
A little bit. Like enough
First
to make
time
it
I met
shocking.
Sansi, I was Fat Albert. Like I was 3
Yeah.
bills and moving and shaking.
So you had the tan on and you've lost a lot of weight. He probably didn't think it was you. That's a compliment. Sansi
but
was
the way
actually
he shooed
complimenting
me
you.
away, I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah, chaperone.
Bastard.
Chaperone.
Chaperone.
Anyway, Johnny.
Keep on moving.
Keep
Johnny,
on
what's
moving.
getting your attention right now? Big matchup tonight. The Oilers, whispers of problems. Like what's got you focused and got your attention?
Well, it's not the game I'm about to do in Boston.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
What's your give a crap meter for the Boston tilt tonight? Like out of 10, where's your give a? How many craps?
Big game for the Bruins. Big game for them.
Yeah. I guess that's what gets my attention, though, is all these teams, and there's, 5 spots available in the East. Like, I'll give Tampa, Buffalo, and Carolina, they're in. Even Montreal on down, everyone else is very much catchable and has to play well. And so Boston, who has 12 games left or whatever, 8 of the 12 games they have are against playoff teams. They need to take advantage of the games they play against the bad teams. Right now, the Toronto Maple Leafs are a bad team, and so they need to beat those teams when they have the opportunity. So I'm interested in that for Boston. Can they take advantage of a team that they are supposed to beat? Ottawa-Detroit matchup, really, really interesting. 2 teams that could have a big swing. Montreal has one of the most difficult schedules remaining. We've assumed that they're going to be good and home and cool for a long time. Could they stumble just a little bit? I don't quite know. So I'm interested in those kind of races, the sort of the East, where there's so many teams trying to snag those spots. And there's basically 2, and maybe even 3 if you consider Philadelphia, that are going to be the outside looking in. They'll be disappointed if they don't get there.
Johnny, if you were the head producer of the Underpants Cam, where would you direct the camera? Would you be going possibly to Detroit to check them out? Or where else would you be putting someone on location for Underpants Cams?
I think on the Detroit management box, right? The Iser plan. Like this is the year they're supposed to be good. They're gonna make it. They've been good all year. They've just fallen out.
I know, it's crazy.
And they're not playing now. Larkin might return tonight, and if he does, that's a huge boost against Ottawa, who has like 4 defensemen that aren't regulars playing. So real challenge for them. But I would go to Detroit because they've been there all year. You thought they were going to get in. They've fallen out. It's been 9 years since they've made it, and could they come up just short? And the other one, I might slide over to Patty Waugh and the Island. While they've been a pleasant story, they're an 8th spot, and anytime you play a team you have to beat, gets very tense. So they're playing Chicago, 2nd worst team in the league at home. They have to win as well. So I would be nervy in the island if things don't go well tonight.
Well, it's interesting because, that's nerves and anxiety, and then there's, other front offices who might be thinking, how do we get in this position, or, do I deserve some sort of a mulligan on my reputation? We were talking about Kevin Adams in Buffalo, who's obviously out, and Kekalainen's in, and what a 180 in terms of a reputation. In other words, if he gets hired by a team this summer, I think that fan base will likely be excited because of what the Sabres are doing this year, where if he got hired a week after he got fired, people would say, you're insane. What are you doing? This is crazy. How are you hiring that guy? Look what's been going on in Buffalo. And you look at Nashville, Barry Trotz goes, I'm out. I can't do this GM thing, man. It's just not for me. It's not working. I kind of get the impression it was a nudge, wink, wink from ownership. And now they're in the playoffs. They're like the hottest team in the league.
Dammer, 33 cookies.
Yes. So is Barry Trotz saying, actually, I'd rather stay? Is Kevin Adams saying, why aren't I getting more love? Who deserves more love in terms of the reputation, possibly pulling a 180?
Well, I think because of where Kevin Adams' reputation was when he was dismissed, it's got to be Kev, no? I play with Kevin. You play with him in Carolina, I think, too, O.
Yeah.
He was thought to be, an absolutely incapable GM that was in over his head. And yes, it took him many years, 6-7 years, but the team almost exactly as he left it has been the best team in the league for 3 months. There's no changes that Jarmo Kekalainen didn't do anything but bolster the management group for a long, long time until the trade deadline. And they've been the best team in the league, better than Colorado, better than Dallas, better than Minnie, better than Tampa, better than anyone for 3 months. And so, I think Kevin Adams would say, my vision, my talent acquisition, my view of how a team is supposed to come together would make a lot more sense. So if he's putting his resume out there for any open job, he should get a longer look than he would have gotten.
Damn straight he should, Johnny. Serious consideration.
Yeah. Now, he had some missteps along the way, but I'm not sure how many of those missteps were entirely his doing. I don't know how much was his decision specifically, or maybe above his head, or encouraged to hire different people. But the team he put together is really, really good. And that's generally what you put on your resume. So he would have that. The Nashville one is amazing too, because Stamkos was going to either retire or waive his no trade. Ryan O'Reilly, Marchessault, everyone was going everywhere. Roman Josi was thinking, how do I get out of here? And now all of a sudden they've rallied all the way back. And if they could somehow, some way, and I doubt it, catch Utah and get in that Pacific Division playoff battle as Nashville, they think they'd be the favorite in that thing. So, it's turned around quickly there, but they were never perceived quite the mess that Buffalo was. And maybe the hockey world that almost was laughing at Kevin Adams, sort of deserved an apology, to send him an apology, say, listen, we sort of, it took you too long, and there's lots of missteps along the way, but the group that we were just carving, that you left, we thought it was just a mess, was actually pretty darn good, and they played that way.
Johnny, give me an Oilers update. I want to do hot Oilers talk. They got problems, man.
Big time. Big time. So here's the thing, for me, is that they keep wanting to believe that they are much better than they are. It's been 70 games. Maybe the reality, they're not that good, which we all wouldn't believe because the players they have and the experience in the last 2 years. But maybe they're not that good.
Ray just told us earlier I think they've only won 3 in a row once this year.
Yeah. They just can't get anything going. Their goaltending has been not what it needs to be. Defensive coverage has been terrible. Yeah, the offense scores a bunch. The power play is still wicked, but they don't have depth scoring. All the same issues, but maybe more exacerbated than years past. But the one thing I don't mind is honest Connor McDavid. I got a lot of time for honest Connor McDavid. And I have no problem when the best player puts everyone on notice, including the coaches, because the coaches mess up too. And players never, ever sort of publicly criticize, say, our coaches haven't been very good this year. Coaches will say that about players. Players never say about coaches. But when McDavid says, John Cooper's team is so well organized and so well run, why aren't you? And then is asked why your team isn't that way, he says, ask our coach. I don't mind putting everyone on notice. Players, goalies, coaches, management. they are all responsible for the place they find themselves in. It's not just on the players. It's on everybody, including McDavid, because I like the idea of that guy putting the spotlight on everyone, including himself. Like, if we're watching McDavid tonight, is he cheating? Is he not sticking to the game plan? Is he looking for offense by staying on the wrong side of the puck? Things that you would criticize any player for, including him. I want him to be mindful that, the spotlight's on him, because I expect him to be great when that's the case. So they got a lot of issues, though. You got Leon Draisaitl over in Europe going to soccer matches, talking about, I hope we go deep in the playoffs so I can play again. Like, there's a lot happening there, and none of it is great. And they're looking like they're going to play Vegas in the first round, which, Vegas hasn't had a great season either, but that's a really tough first round matchup.
That's what's amazing. Like, Vegas, they've been terrible lately. Like, terrible.
They
Legit.
were good the other night.
No, they beat Dallas, and that was a big win. That was a back-to-back in Dallas. That was a big win.
But something's up.
Their winning percentage is legit one of the worst in the league the last 20 games.
I think it's the worst season they're ever going to have.
Yeah.
As an organization, perhaps.
Right.
So,
but guys, let's do one common denominator. Oil, Vegas Golden Knights.
Goaltending's terrible.
Horrendous.
Horrendous goaltending.
And I'm so glad Marty Baron had some honesty and some truth and some dignity when he rated that trade an F with Pittsburgh, because that's exactly what it was. If I told you guys at the beginning of the season, in the summertime, the Oilers are going to fix their goaltending problem and that the answer is going to be Connor Ingram come playoff time, you would tell me I was high.
Yeah, I hear you.
I told you that 6 weeks ago, and you told me I was high.
That's right.
He was going to be the starter.
Like McJesus does the
no
unthinkable,
way.
and Jesus signs a 2-year extension at 12 sheets, and you get that for goaltending for him? It's insanity, bro.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not just this year that they have hitched those 2 remaining McDavid years to a Tristan Jarry contract.
Crazy.
And you're like, well, hang on. You have now you have almost the entirety of the McDavid savings. If you can't get rid of Tristan Jarry for a new goalie next year, will be eaten up by whatever you're paying Tristan Jarry not to play net for you. It was a really, really bad miss at the most important position at the worst possible time. To put all that together, that's a tough one.
Well, Vegas is fascinating for me because, it's been a foregone conclusion. Every year they're competitive. Literally the first year in the league, they went to a cup final. They're hyperactive. They just did it again this year. They went out and got Rasmus Anderson. Even signing Carter Hart was something a lot of teams would not have done. It has not paid off. Hart has not played well. But, it's been Schmidt and Hill that have been playing. I don't think Hart's been playing.
He's been hurt for a long time, yeah.
But are they, they get the benefit of the doubt, and again, they deserve it. But is there a chance they're just not that good?
How the hell can they not be that good? Although
they're not young. They're not young. That's the thing.
Their D has taken a big hit.
Yes. And the White Cloud, ever since the White Cloud trial, they've really struggled. It's not like he was playing huge minutes for them.
Anderson's been a disappointment.
But Pietrangelo gone.
Tough.
Anderson has really struggled. White Cloud's out. Yeah. Like this, what if this is them starting to cycle into welcome to the NHL? Like, this is real life. Like, you're not guaranteed anything here. I know you had it for a decade, and you deserve all the credit in the world. Is there a chance Vegas is spiraling into a position, Johnny, where they're just average, and that's what they are, or maybe that's what they're going to be?
I mean, they could be on the downside of their peak. I don't know if I'm willing to concede all the way into next year that they're going to be 20th in the league. Like, I still think they'll be a playoff competitive team. They have a lot of good forwards from Michael, Stone, Marner, Hurdle, are all still pretty good players. But I look at their defensemen, and I understand that they do have some injuries, but they have Caden Korczak. Saying, who's that guy? He's playing significant minutes, right? Jeremy Lauzon. Rasmus Anderson, as you mentioned, made that huge trade. He has not fit in as well. He has really, really struggled. So, McNabb and Theodore, they've been good, but they're way better when they're your second pair or sometimes your third pair than when they are your first pair. And then you got Noah Hannafin anchoring the second pair. They're older. They signed all these guys to long-term contracts. It happens to everyone. You know, the Leafs went through a 10-year run until it happened to them, and it happened quick. And the cliff came in a hurry, and they're teetering on it now where they've gone over it. You know, Vegas is probably not quite there. But, yeah, I think there is an element where, yeah, they're no longer ascending. They're just trying to slow the descent to mediocrity.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, Johnny. Well, enjoy yourself in Boston tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this game. Yeah.
How many times over-under is the Fraser Minton Brandon Carlo trade going to be mentioned on this broadcast?
Coming up a lot, I would think. Like, I'm sure did you see CJ's article in The Athletic today? I don't know if you saw it about
did.
Tree Living and Sweeney not really even engaging until there was an hour left on the clock.
Last-minute talks, yes.
Seems pretty desperate. Like that's an article like incredibly well sourced and well detailed, but it's just adding insult to injury, isn't it? Like with where the Leafs are at in the front office and everything.
For a trade that didn't work out well. Now, I would like to believe, even if I've not talked to you about Brandon Carlo as a trade, you would have sourced it well through with your people, right? Like, I don't have to talk to the other GM, but I would know what my team thinks about that player. Like, it's not like he just spun the dial and said, no, let's go for that guy. We don't know much about him, but let's do it anyways because we need somebody. I would hope and trust that that's not the case. Even if they got to it at the very end of the trade deadline, I'm assuming they did their due diligence on the player, which might have been a miss anyways, but I'm assuming they did it and he wasn't swinging blind.
But, Johnny, we were talking earlier. When they said, we'll give you a first for Carlo, and they said, no, we want Minton too. Like, isn't that when you hang up the phone? Like, gee, like, that's it. Yeah. It's like, we got a first for Carlo.
They were desperate. It was just
Dude,
a desperate
I get it.
last
You hang
dance.
up the phone and see if he calls back. You just do not add it.
But you got to remember where they were last year. They were first in the division. They were taking a serious run of the Stanley Cup. They have not been there in 60 years. And so they were thinking, yeah, it's way too much to pay. But we're paying it because we're taking the biggest swings right now. We're not going to – and, of course, in hindsight, not a good decision. But in the moment where they were and the belief of what was possible, they overpaid for Lawton. They overpaid for Carlo. But they did so probably knowingly because they wanted to take their best swing. And then they missed on a couple. And then, you know, they were one game away from probably getting the Stanley Cup final, if we're being honest, last year.
Yeah.
And then we would probably look at it a little bit differently. But they didn't. They lost. Life goes on, and now life is less good than if they had not made that deal.
Yeah. Well, and it would hurt less if it wasn't Boston. Like after the Kessel and the Raycroft deal, and the fact that Boston has owned them for 15 years.
I don't think people care about that stuff. I think you care. Like I've been around it. I understand like it's been 15 years of tough results against Boston, but I don't know how much fans really care about that. You know what I mean? Like they care about the Leafs being struggling,
care.
but
they care.
You
Johnny.
think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
How can you not? I mean, the Raycroft deal is one of the worst trades in the history of the sport.
It's so long ago, though. You know,
Johnny, I hear you, but it was a disaster, and the Kessel deal was a disaster, and this is the third one.
That.
3 strikes. Like the Bruins have struck them out on 3 straight pitches.
And we out.
Yes,
Okay.
It's absurd. It's crazy. Anyway, all right, enjoy yourself in Boston tonight. We'll
all right, fellas, I appreciate you watching the game religiously.
Oh, we will. I'm watching. I can't wait. There he is, Mike Johnson, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Red Tag Days are here with the all-electric Toyota BZ. Goes from 0 to 100 in just 5.1 seconds and charges from 10 to 80% in just 30 minutes. Dropped by Maple Toyota today. I think it matters. I think it hurts more that it's the Bruins that benefit from the desperation and the unfortunate outcome of the trade.
It's just like the Bruins again.
That's it, exactly. Like if it was
Sagan, the Sagan pick for Phil, and then they got Dougie Hamilton and Sagan, and it was just
yeah, exactly. If it was Ottawa, you'd be like, all right, it's still brutal, but at least it's not Boston.
Fresh. It's something fresh.
At least it's not Boston. Like, of course, it's the Bruins. Whoever's running this operation in the future. I've said it before. I'll say it repeatedly into the future. And it probably has to come from ownership. No more trades with the Bruins ever again. Ever, because
Like,
they fleece
I
you
can neither
every
confirm or
time.
deny that.
It's a rule. Like,
yes.
It's a team rule.
Because you're always desperate.
there
That's
you
the
go.
Ray face.
That is.
When the Bruins call you,
Say you want to make a trade?
you give them the Ray face.
Yeah.
And you say, actually, no, I don't. Because all three of them were effectively the same level of desperation. You know, we need a goalie here. We think we can be a playoff team. Yeah, take Kucherov. Burke shows up. Need a star. I need a player I can sell. We got to get Phil. We're desperate here. Yeah, we'll give you 2 firsts and a second, all of them unprotected. We need a defenseman, right shot. Carlo, yeah, we'll give you Minton and a first, only
Was it
top 5.
Was it 2 firsts and a second?
2 firsts and a second for Phil.
Sagan, Hamilton. Do you know who the third
I
player was?
can't remember. He didn't pan out. It was the 31st pick overall, though. So it was the 2nd, the 9th, and the 31st pick overall for Phil Kessel. And it's not Phil's fault. Phil was a good player. Phil is a good player. It was the absurdity of thinking you were a Phil Kessel away from doing something.
Someone's got to write a book. There's got to be already a book on all these transactions. Like, I would read it only on the can. 'Cause that's the only place I could tolerate.
And you'd have to be violently ill to read it. Violently ill.
Well,
Or not. All right.
you have a big dinner and a coffee and a muffin, you get that book out.
Confirm and deny coming up. Best bets later in the hour. OverDrive continues up on YouTube Live.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Boston trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
All right, Confirm or Deny, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. All right. Tiger Woods returning tonight to TGL. So he's going to take like 12 or 13 swings. I don't know. It's complicated. There's 3 guys on the team. Sometimes they all play the hole together. Sometimes they play it single.
That's where it kind of lost me, the confusion of it. And
yeah.
like golf's not supposed to be like the loudness and the fast pace. Like,
but it's an entertainment product. Like, it's not real golf.
Dude, I get it. For
like
me, unfortunately, it just didn't hit. Like, it didn't land.
I'm going to check it out tonight because of Tiger. But confirm or deny, if Tiger plays the Masters, he will play at least one more major this year beyond that. So 2+ majors for Tiger.
I'm going to confirm that. I think if he plays the Masters and he can walk around the golf course, possibly for 4 days, most likely 2, I think he'll say, obviously he'll look at the venues and...
Dude, Shinnecock, do you know what that place will eat him alive if he can't play golf? Like, if he's slashing it around or just...
If you want to slash at Shinnecock,
because he'll have that place cooked.
Good luck.
Yeah. But he'll want to play that track. I mean, I don't know where the PGA is this year. And like the British Open, I don't see him going over there. I don't know.
Dude, what kind of game can this guy
have? That's the
not
problem.
seeing it?
Like that's where I'm almost going to deny it because I think he looks at Augusta differently. You know, it's a commemoration of his career, the Champions Dinner. It's McIlroy's kind of week and year, and he wants to be there, I'm sure, for him. It's a shorter field. Like, the cut line is much easier to get to, right? Like, I think he probably feels like he can motor around that course, shoot 72, 72, and make the cut. He goes to Shinnecock. If that place is iced out, which it will be, and they'll be playing it at like 7,800 yards, he will shoot
a million, dude.
He might shoot 82, 83 or something like that. Like, I don't think he'll want to put himself in that position to embarrass himself.
I think he grabs his ass cheek before that ever happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Augusta is different.
Yeah, if he's 10 over after 9 holes at Shinnecock, he legit, like, tells a fan to swat him with a pole right on the ass and says, glute's not firing.
Yeah. That place is so sick. That's a course we got to find a way to play someday.
We have to play Shinnecock.
Yeah.
We'll grow a Corey Pavin dirty little mustache and get hybrids in our bags.
That was a 5-wood he hit, didn't he? Into the famous 5-wood into the 72nd hole.
Yeah, Corey
like
Pavin
212 yards.
Used to have those offset alien Cleveland Boss clubs. They were outrageous.
That was around when Zinger won his only major too, right? Didn't Zinger win a U.S. Open like the next year or within a couple of years?
I think Zinger only won a PGA.
He only won one major. I don't remember if it was a PGA or a U.S. Open. Sorry, JP, where are they playing the PGA?
Aronimink in Philly.
That's an old school course too, isn't it? I don't know that one that well, but anyway, I'm going to deny it. I think the Masters is one thing. I'm not sure Tiger's got it cut out to play like iced out U.S. Open courses or go overseas.
Dude, I don't know why he just doesn't go have some fun with his buddies on the senior tour, but he still likes being Tiger Woods, a PGA Tour player.
Yeah.
One day he's just going to say, screw it. I'm going to go get in that golf cart with Rocco Mediate.
That'd be great.
Drive around and blow cigars.
And they'll do big numbers. It'll be cool to see him play.
Dude, he will totally revitalize the senior tour.
And he'd have a chance to win out there.
Yeah, and he'll throw. You don't think those guys in the senior tour want him to show up, start throwing some cake in their jeans?
The purses would definitely get
skyrocket.
Higher. Yeah, they would definitely get higher. All right, let's move on here. Confirm or deny, Kevin Gausman will play with the Jays beyond this season. The UFA after this year. 1 year left on his deal.
Age?
Was he 35? Yeah, he's mid-30s.
I think he's one of those guys they have to lock him up. I'm going to totally confirm it. I get on that quickly, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's just...
I wonder if it's like before opening night, we've worked out an extension, add 2-3 years to his deal.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the importance of what the organization and John Schneider thinks about him, the starts that he's had, where it was like, the role of an ace.
Yeah.
End streaks, start them.
Right.
Like, he's that guy for them.
Game 1, you're getting a ball. He's obviously pitching opening day.
Yeah.
Like he pitched well in the playoffs. He had a couple of really good outings. A couple other outings where it just got away from him, but the offense didn't show up for him. But he is a guy. I think he's a real pillar of that clubhouse. Loves being up here. And beyond this year, Scherzer, this I believe will be it. I said this last year that he would only be here once or for 1 year. I don't imagine he's back next year. Bieber, I believe, like he is a free agent after this, will likely move on. We'll see. But that means you're talking Cease, Ponce, Savage. That's it. Really good 1, 2, 3. But you need to add to that. I think Gausman, his arm, he's always healthy. He's still got a great fastball splitter. I think he sticks around. I'm going to confirm it as well. I think it was Keegan that wrote today, like projecting what could be happening beyond this year, that Tarek Skubal, we all know, is coming up, right? Skubal's going to leave Detroit. And he's going to look for $350, $400 million plus.
Why can't Detroit give him that money?
I don't know. They just won't do it. It's just not in their wheelhouse.
It's not what? It's not like we have the best pitcher in the game. We don't want to reward. Like we don't want to give him what some other team.
Yeah.
Like if I was a Detroit fan, I'd be so pissed at that.
Well, and they're a really good team too.
Yeah, no kidding. Like they got to be the first ones to put their hand up and say, "You're not going anywhere."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd think. I mean, they got all these kids coming up. That McGonigal kid's made the team. He's going to play. They've splashed money around before. They used to pay Verlander to an extent and Scherzer to an extent, and obviously Cabrera they signed to a monster contract. They've done it before, but I just don't get. I don't
yeah,
get the impression
they
it's
gave
going to
Cabrera
happen.
that money. Didn't play one game for the organization, and they just handed it to him.
Yeah, he was a stud superstar.
Dude, I get it. But
Yes.
the organization's ownership just picks and chooses when they're going to do the splash.
Yeah.
And if they decide they're not doing it, it sucks for the fan base.
Well,
Like those type of markets, it's like you bring up this young stud, he turns into the ultimate pitching machine. Then it's like, we're not paying you. See you later.
Best arm in the game.
Yeah.
Best arm in the game.
Same thing's going to happen with Skeens. He's just going to say, get me the hell out of here.
Now,
sure.
that's maybe if Pittsburgh's not any good, you might be able to reason with that. The
Dude,
Tigers have been in the
do you know
playoffs
how
the
long
last 2 years.
Pittsburgh has been terrible.
Yeah, forever. Basically my whole life.
Yeah, they're god-awful, man.
Yeah, they for the last 25 years, they have not even factored
I think they had a
into
couple
the radar.
years in there when McCutcheon was in his prime. They made the playoffs a couple years, but other than that, they were garbage.
Maybe, but they have not been a competitive team for a long time. But they went out there, they spent some money. They brought in they brought in Valdez this year. They brought Verlander back. I don't know what he's got left in his arm, but
you know who's going to be fascinating to watch this year? Who I looked and I saw that the guy looked like Mark McGuire now. Have you seen the size of that Roman Anthony?
Yeah, he's huge.
Dude.
Their whole offense is going to revolve around him.
Dude,
breaking
he
out.
looks like a monster.
Yeah. He's got incredible potential, clearly.
Yeah. He's got to be one of the top prospects.
Yeah. Oh, when he came up, I believe he was the number one rated prospect.
Somebody
in the game.
took a pic of him and posted it on Twitter about his off-season work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going the route of funny business. This guy looks like he means business.
Yeah.
He is jacked.
He's huge. He got hurt last year, but they've got a loaded rotation in Boston. They got a pretty good staff, pretty good bullpen. Like it's going to come down to whether or not Anthony can have a big year.
Dude, that organization, they're always kind of good, man.
Yeah.
They just hover around. They're never going to be
they're going to be pushed like they were in the playoffs last year. They made it as a wild card team. I saw the power rankings, I believe, on MLB.com today. 4 teams in the American League East are in the top 10. Jays were number 2. It was Dodgers 1 naturally. Like the Dodgers team is so gross. Like they're just with Tucker there now and Diaz as their closer.
Dude, I don't see how they don't win the World Series.
I don't either, and I hate feeling that way.
Yeah, they just won 2 in a row and then added
Tucker in the best bullpen arm available to them. And now Ohtani's going to be available all year, likely to pitch.
Dude, imagine that luxury with ownership and management where they saw some things while winning another series that they didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Remember a couple times against the Jays, they brought in that lefty that got hammered. I don't know what his name was.
Mm-hmm. They just said you're not here
Bango
anymore.
or Banka or something, and they said no, we got to improve on that guy.
Yeah, yep. They just get better every single year.
Yeah.
So the Jays were 2. There it is. Jays 2, Yankees 4, Red Sox 7, Orioles 10. That's absurd.
You're predicting that big a bounce back for the Orioles?
Well, they added a lot of power, and they've had really good young talent for years. Remember, they bottomed out. They were awful for years.
They took a step. They were so good, and they just
well,
stunk last
because
year.
Henderson didn't have a good year. Rushman really struggled, but they've got a lot of kids that are coming up. They signed Alonso. I don't know if their pitching staff is good enough.
Dude,
that's the question.
I think Seattle's going to be dynamite.
Seattle's loaded too, but that's the thing. Look at all the teams in the American League. You got the only NL teams on this top 10. Again, it's a projection: Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, Cubs. So 6 of the 10 are in the American League. 4 of them are in the American League East.
I talked to a Phillies fan in the line for security check in the Tampa airport, and I was like, "Is Bryce Harper and Dombrowski, did they kiss and make up or what?" He's like, the GM was right. The guy didn't play to his potential. Like, what is Bryce Harper bitching about?
He's always got an attitude on him.
Dude, I get it.
He's always angry about
why
something.
would he be pissy? You just got, obviously the idea of being singled out and called out in 2026
doesn't happen much, especially
and it's
with
not well
superstars.
received by the athletes because they're just like, "Oh, you're blaming me? Am I at fault for something?" But the guy was like, a diehard Phillies fan. He's like, the GM was right. Did not play anywhere close to his potential.
Mm-hmm. That's Philly, man. That's New York. That's how they operate there.
Crazy.
That's where I always say, Toronto. People are like, "Oh, the media is so tough on their star players." I'm like, of course, they're star players.
I know, but you have
what do you
guys that are
expect?
chasing in the expectation. Guess who won a championship when one person left?
Yeah, Washington when Harper left. Yeah,
won a championship when that guy left.
The first year he left. Yeah, I know it's a wild one. All right, last one. Confirm or deny. We've been talking about the Oilers a lot and their goaltending situation. Confirm or deny Connor Ingram plays every playoff game for the Oilers this year.
I have to confirm it because I can't see trust in the other guy getting to any level where there would be, we got to put you in the playoffs. No way, no how.
Could Pickard get in there? Pickard's played in the playoffs the last 2 years.
Dude, maybe Pick's the guy.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to go on a long run. They're barely in the playoffs.
Dude, everybody understood there needed to be a goaltending change, but it's just like the firing the coach philosophy. You only fire the coach if you have somebody better waiting in the wings. And Noodles kept describing it, and it's true, but I cannot for the life of me figure it out. They just needed to make a move for something different. That is crazy-ass stuff in big league sports, man. You only trade Stuart Skinner if you think you're getting a better goaltender.
Well, that's where they, listen, Jari's got a lot of talent, but
what the hell are you talking about, Hayes? Talent at what?
Obviously,
his one
he's
talent
made stops
has got to
before.
be. You just said that because Noodles said it.
Absolutely, but I trust Noodles' assessment.
What's his talent?
Well, obviously,
he's got good
his capability
edge work,
of playing.
He
Yes,
goes post.
that is the assessment courtesy of Noodles. That he's a talented goaltender.
Then you're not allowed to say he's got talent because you don't know what talent he has. Tell me a talent he has.
Obviously, he stinks. I mean, I
don't
wasn't
say
a big
he's
proponent of him showing up there either. Exactly. Give me the Ray face. I hear you. I understand what you're saying. I deserve it for that. I'm just telling you what
and you know
other
what?
people
Keep
have
the Ray
assessed.
face up there for Noodles.
Well, yeah, Noodles got to chew on that because Jari. Now you look back on it, Skinner leaving. It's revisionist history to suggest that he should have stayed. He had to go too. It was a mess with Skinner. But they should not have taken Jari back. It would have been better to go Ingram and Pickard and just get off the books of the Skinner deal and don't bring on the Jari
deal. He was in the
deal.
minors last year.
I know. You could have claimed them off waivers.
Minors.
Yes, and his deal is...
Years in the playoffs, he was not good in the playoffs performing.
Brutal. I hear you. And he's got a significant contract. $5.75 million or something like that is his cap hit for 2 more years. And now they're stuck. You're stuck with him. You're never getting rid of that.
And isn't Skinner a RFA?
Yes, he's a UFA, I believe. RFA or UFA. He's up at the end of the year.
How crazy is that, taking on that money?
I know. Well, Jari's playing tonight in Utah. Like, he's got to play. Ingram's not going to. Like, that's why I guess I'll confirm it, because I don't think the Oilers are going very deep. So if I said they were going to a Cup final, I don't think Ingram's going to play every single game, based on what's happened the last 2 years. But I don't know. Jari can't play. You can't throw him in. It's going to be a weird playoff vibe in Edmonton. The way the whole season's played out. We mentioned it. Same thing in Vegas, man. They don't have a goaltender in Vegas. Like, they're going to play. Who are they going to play? Aiden Hill? Like, I know he's won a cup for you.
That's
before,
your only hope.
Been
You just got to take a chance he can turn back the clock.
He's been a mess. Like, Vegas Edmonton first round will be a crazy first round. I don't know how to predict that. I guess I'd go with home ice having an advantage, and at this point it would be Edmonton, but I don't know. All right, there you go. Confirm or deny. Brought to you by Boston Pizza.
You want to answer my buddy's question for me? My buddy Joey said, "Oh, dog, I just am with my family. They would like to know what the underpants cam is." Go ahead and explain.
So... It's how do I put this? It's effectively
It's when someone has white boxers on and they're in a nervy situation.
Yes.
You're getting an update on what they look like.
It's an update on exactly that, the anxiety of a particular individual.
Yes.
Where if the underpants are still spotless, no anxiety,
nothing,
no nerves, no scare, no nothing. 100% confidence, just exuding optimism.
Yes.
But if those underpants are a
skid marks,
wreck, really anxious,
they're in trouble.
And you're in trouble.
There's different levels of underpants. And if you go down near the bottom right, you are in massive trouble.
Yeah, you're in big trouble. Big trouble.
Like, go one to the left, Joey. I think the Red Wings are kind of around there right now.
I would think they're on the bottom row for sure, based on what's happened the last 2 years.
Yeah, go one up. I think you're looking at Edmonton Oilers goaltending. Up.
Next row.
Yep.
Yeah, right around there, the Oilers. And I would say Vegas is right around there.
I would say if you go one up from that, Joey, Tiger Woods on the first tee at Augusta National.
Mm-hmm.
With some Calvin Klein's old school tighty whities.
Yeah, maybe some Sunday Reds.
Oh.
Possibly. I don't know if they make underwear or not, but it's possible. Yeah, so that's it. I don't think we can really explain it any more clear than that.
Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. Happy to. All right, Best Bets coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Leafs Bruins tonight on TSN. I said it earlier, it's just such a warped mentality that the Leafs are in Boston. It's a must-win for the Bruins. The Bruins are chasing a playoff spot. And I get the impression, like, if not all Leaf fans, real close to the full capacity of Leaf fans, they don't even want to see the team play a spoiler tonight. You just want them to lose and get an opportunity at that top 5 protected pick. And when you consider what the Bruins have done to the Leafs via trade, via Game 7 heartbreak, to be in that situation mentally as a fan base is incredibly difficult to accept. But it is a reality, and I'm not going to bet the game tonight. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Big games around the NHL. I'm not touching the Habs game tonight, but huge one at the Bell Center with Carolina in town. I'm on the under Ottawa, Detroit tonight. The way the Sens have been playing defensively, I think with the injuries on defense, they try to smother this game into a trap. I see 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. I'm betting the under. I'm going to parlay that with Utah. A little bit of juice against Edmonton tonight. I like Utah. Utah's been playing really well. I think they're better than the Oilers. And Tristan Jarry's in net. You're only paying a little bit of juice on Utah. I'm on the Mammoth this evening. And Anaheim in Vancouver. I'm on the Ducks to win that game. So you got the under, Sens Wings, Utah outright, Anaheim outright. Parlay that, paying plus 450. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays around the NHL available on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 18 plus, physically located in Ontario. All right, bunch of hockey games. Raptors, Clippers tomorrow. Tiger Woods back tonight in TGL action. We'll track that and see what comes of it, break it down tomorrow. And the Jays are back home. They're back in town, and they're starting their season up later this week, so we look forward to that as well. Overdrive is out of here. We appreciate everyone tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. We're out here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. We'll chat then.